There's a light shining on you. Baby, I'm trembling inside. Not the woman that I barely knew. I must have been out of my mind. Oh, I never really would be. Girl, I know you deserve a better day. Baby, I was a fool ever let you down. So why would you stay? Woman, I beg you, confused. I'll do whatever. The devil or evil. Choo-choo swing. Hello, my friends. Welcome to our live. After some weeks without going in air, today we back again with our lives. And minutes ago, we're listening to Ken, an American singer. Okay, Ken. But today we are on air with our special guest. His name is Silvino Gomez. He's the one who's going to share with us some knowledge regarding the following topic: helping ESL students overcome barriers to learning English. And how are you, Mr. Silvano?
Hey, Salomon,
I can listen to you.
Can you hear me now?
To you.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. Okay, as I was saying, there've been for some.
Oh gosh, what's going on? Let me see the sound.
What's going on, man?
Okay, now can you hear me?
I can hear, but not very well.
Not very well. Hold on.
I can hear you, but not very well.
Let me wear my headphones. How's it now? Salomão? Salomão?
No.
Can you hear me now? Is it okay now?
I'm hearing you, but deep down. Okay. I'm hearing you.
Let me
deep.
use that. Very deep. Okay. So let me turn on my speaker, maybe to give some input now.
Bluetooth mode.
Hold on. How is it now?
Hello.
Hello, Salomon.
Hello. Say something. I can't hear so far. Don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me? Hey, can you? I hear you perfectly.
No voice so far.
I hear you perfectly. Let me set this again. Oh God.
Can you hear me now? Is it okay now?
Actually, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you very well. Okay. Your
Neither do
voice
I.
coming
Neither
from
do I.
deep.
Neither do I. Can't hear you very well. I've set all the
I don't know
audio
exactly
to.
what's going on.
Yeah,
Let me
because I
take
hear you.
some headphones so
Okay.
that I can make it possible.
All right.
Okay, I don't know whether it's going to be possible right now. Okay.
Yeah, just try.
I don't know whether it's going to be possible right now. Hello, you
Mm-hmm.
may speak. No, I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me
you
now?
now. Yeah, I can
Is
do
it
it. I
okay?
can do it now. Yeah, it's okay
Can
now.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. So I
Okay.
believe the problem was on your side.
I think so.
I,
I think so.
yeah, because I was really worried.
Is it still okay?
Sorry. Okay. 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 Okay.
Is
As I
it
was
still okay?
saying, yeah, it's okay now. It's okay now. Okay. As I was saying, we had
Okay,
some
good.
weeks without being on air, but today we're back again with our lives, and our special guest is Mr. SILVINO Gomes. He's a teacher of English and a motivational coach. He's going to share some knowledge with us regarding the following topic: helping ESL students overcome barrier to learning English. And before giving him a word, actually I'm going to read his biography for you to be aware of who am I talking with. Uh, Silvana Gomez, his full name is Silvano Neves Paiva Gomez. Um, he's a teacher of English and graduated at ESL Luanda in 2018. He's done high school. He has done a media technician of in energy and electrician installation in high school. That was his course. Media technician in energy and electrical installation, and a professional formation. His advanced English language training course in South Africa, advanced computer course from the user's perspective software, advanced Excel Corso, and marketing course, as well as public speaker course. These are some professional formation he has, and yet his his professional experience. Currently, he works as a teacher of English and English coordinator for Real Século XXI private school. He started working there since 2018 until now. He worked also as an English translator from 2015 to 2019. Um, Also as an electrician. It was his part-time job. So this is a short biography about Teacher Silvanos. So Teacher Silvanos, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Mr. Solomon?
I'm fine, thanks God, and
Good.
I'm glad for you accepting my invitation. Actually, I was started wondering because we're having some problems on on on, on voice. Actually, I couldn't hear you. Actually, the problem was with me, but I couldn't realize that. Okay, Mr. Silvano. Actually, before starting with deeply in our topic, we couldn't start without first knowing your perspective, your thinking about International Teachers Day, which was celebrated on 5th October. So what do you have to tell us about this date?
Well, it's a very memorable day for us teachers It's a day where UNESCO coined, and for many years it has been recognized and remembered this day. Uh, Fortunately, we've been a teacher for a long time. We've been teaching through difficult times, and we sure need day to be remembered on. And most importantly, we also need the other days. I'm not saying that specific day, but this is the day that we celebrate the teacher profession. And the other day I was reading a magazine which tells that UNESCO was worried because unfortunately many teachers, professional teachers, are giving up on this career. And probably in 2024, we're going to need more than 1 million teachers all.
Actually, I didn't get the last words because where the image was coming with some breaks. I couldn't hear very well. Can you repeat the last words you have said?
All right, I can repeat. Thank you. My last word were on this note that was published by UNESCO. Was saying that probably in 2024 we're going to be having this lack of teachers all around the world because most of teachers are giving up on this brilliant career due to wage salaries, the low salaries, and due to some hardship times the teachers have been going through.
Okay, okay, I get it. But just tell us what is behind teachers quit from their job.
One of the main reasons is about the salary because we cannot pretend that everything's okay. But unfortunately, there are many teachers, real professionals in this area, this field, but are not okay, are not happy with what they've been paid monthly. Unfortunately, they can't provide for the family because they still have many debts to cover, and the salary is not, I won't say enough, because nothing is always, as a human being, always looking for some more, but at least it's not to the point that at least we should cover basic needs. We still have teachers that are suffering for basic situations like those ABC situations in which they need to provide for their family, to have a house insurance, for example. And most of people now realize that being a teacher is like the worst profession. And we, as we've been graduated, we start for this life as a teacher of English, and not only teacher of English, but in general, we need to somehow some stimulus. We need to have some stimulus, some motivation, because many people have been taken out of this field because they've been, if you allow me to say, they've been seduced with different salary proposals, different possibilities, and they have not thinking twice to giving up on teaching English. So the basic reason is the main reason, I'm sorry, is the salary.
Okay, okay, I got it. As actually, according to UNESCO, until 2024, we might be in shortage of teachers.
Yeah.
Apart from saying that, do they set some policies not to face a sort of situation until these expected years come?
Can you come again, please? I couldn't get you very well.
I said, according to UNESCO, until 2024, we'll be living shortage of teachers in our society, and there is no society without teachers. Actually, apart from saying that, okay, the UNESCO's head, apart from saying that, did he set some policies in order to maintain the teachers instead of losing them?
Well, probably I believe there are some policies that have been now set, but I'm not well aware of what they are, in which conditions these policies could be present for teachers. But I believe that they are ultimately to uprise the teacher's salary, and I believe as well they will somehow give a better teaching conditions, environment conditions, and other tools that they can provide for these positions.
Do you want to tell me that?
Let me say, not only my belief based on which is what is happening, and they somehow need to find a way to overcome this situation, not running away from these brilliant professions. Because nowadays, if you ask a young man or a young girl, if you ask him what he wants to be in the future, he's probably not going to mention teacher. They most of the time or to professions like engineers, entrepreneurs, and so whatsoever.
Okay. My friends, we are having some problems again with have him. I hope he connect with us soon. Okay. Let me remind you once again. We're talking about the following topic: helping ESL students overcome barriers to learning English. Actually, there are a lot of students who've been facing a lot of barrier on learning English. So our guest is going to tell us in which way can we help our student to overcome those barriers, and wait him to be connected again. Let me check what's going on with him. Silvino Young. Okay. Yeah. Okay, my friends, I actually have to stand that. That is a problem which happens almost every time. Okay, and the most important for us is to see him again connected, and keep hearing from him his experience about the topic we're discussing here right here. In Angola, this is Angolan situation as well. We're having some problem with the net as well, and actually this kind of breaks is not rid of happening. Okay, finally I'm going to invite him. Okay, going to be banned. Okay, the net fall, but we're back again. Okay,
it's normal. We live in Angola, and a sort of problems happen. We have a lot of problem with the internet. I hope Angosat, that is too, okay? Angosat who comes to work well and not having the problem we have faced on the first one. Yeah, Mr. Silvano, we're talking about teachers. Actually, the main problems teachers have been facing, according to what I could hear from you, is salary. So we haven't mentioned all other stuffs which might also impair teachers on their applying their job professionally. But this is not our main topic. Our main topic is helping ESL students overcome barriers to learn English. And my question for you is, what causes barriers to ESL students to learn the language, in this case, English?
Thank you. Very interesting question. But before we move on to answering this question, we first of all need to know in it's something that okay, with that, someone can you hear me?
Today's being a bad day for us. The net is not so good.
Solomon, are you there?
I'm here, but it some pauses on screen. It might be a net's problem. Today's not a bad day for life. We're facing this kind of problem we couldn't be facing. Don't know what's happening exactly. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Let me invite him again. Mr. Silvano, today is not being a good day for life because we're having a lot of problems regarding internet, like a lot of breaks, pauses. Don't know why.
And we need
Angola.
to sincere apologies. They really looking forward to watching this live. They are excited to learn a little bit more about this brilliant topic. But unfortunately, we haven't. We're not being foretold in the sense that the internet connection is not really good.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, this is a situation from our country.
Yeah. It's a bad situation. With a lot of riches we have here, couldn't be facing this sort of problem.
Yeah. Can you come again on
Let's
the
stand it. Okay. Let me our followers again. We're talking about the following topic: helping ESL students overcome barriers to learning English. And my question for teacher Silvano is: what causes barriers to ESL students to learn the language? In this specific case, English.
All right, thank you. As I was saying, before we go into answering this question, I would like to say that there is a wall, let me say figuratively, a wall which blocks you, stop you from going somewhere. Learning any language to overcome language barrier, remove. Are you listening? Okay.
I'm still having a problem. Problems again. Of hearing you.
Are you hearing me?
I'm
Can you
hearing
hear
you
me?
now. Okay, it's okay now. Okay, it's okay now.
Oh God. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's not being easy. Yeah, keep on saying.
oh, okay, as I was saying, students need to overcome the initial language barrier, remove language anxiety, and try to acquire as much knowledge as much as they could. This problem of the second language, but from time to time it happened in the first language as well. The reason behind it might be the anxiety, it might be the shyness, and some lack of repeatedly learn English, and they haven't applied or learned in a healthy way. They've had some inputs in the wrong way, and now they have these. They have been afraid to expose it.
Okay. Actually, as a teacher, what can we do to help students getting rid of the shyness and as you have said a few minutes, apart from apart from shyness they've been facing, what can we do to see them overcoming these barriers?
Well, there are a lot of things that we can do. Here we'll list down some of them, and I'm quite sure our followers probably might have some more. Uh, One of the reasons they have it, as I said, the previous learning experience, and for us teachers to help them to overcome. We can first thing, number one, we need to acknowledge that the classroom is the first place they have to learn English. What's been happening is, unfortunately, most of Indian teachers of English, they have set their classroom, but most of the time they don't speak on the target language, which is English, and they have the students speaking most of the time in Portuguese. So one of the ways to overcome this, teacher at the first day of his teaching, his class, at the presentation day, teachers should set some rules. Teachers should say, for example, students who speak Portuguese, they will have, for example, -2. And give them some input on the basic language, classroom language, like how to say when they don't understand a thing, when they want to go to the toilet, and make some challenge. Teachers should challenge speak in English. And far beyond that, teachers also could follow the rules, because we have many teachers that being set the rules, but they don't follow. And they the first ones that running to the native language, in this case, which is Portuguese, or maybe in some other countries, other language. And the in the eye, they start talking with them in Portuguese. So teachers, please don't do that. When you encounter, no matter what place you encounter your students, you need to talk in English as they
Okay. Let's get used to
and I
it.
was, I was big, I don't know, until to what point you have acquired, you have gotten what I spoke. Can you just remind me what was the last thing before you could get from my speech? Can you just remind me so I can keep on?
Okay. You were saying actually teachers have to set some rules to motivate students to use the target language. And I was about to ask you, you were saying that, but I was about to ask you the following question. Are you ensuring that getting some marks from those students who use Portuguese in the classroom may help them to use, may motivate them to use the target language, not to lose the marks they've been having in the course of lessons?
Can you come again? I just had a little block on your speech. You just froze.
Yeah. I'm facing it again. Okay, I was saying the following. You've said that according to the rules we will be setting in the classroom, taking marks from those students who have been using Portuguese in the classroom may motivate them to use the target language. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, sure, it is possible because Mr. Daniel just follow my thoughts right now. We have the English class for a reason. Students are there to learn one particular language. When they mix with the Portuguese language, time, because most of the time we have 45 minutes or 19 minutes in the classroom, and if they waste this some amount of this time speaking Portuguese, they won't have enough time to practice the target language. What's been happening in most of cases, even in our school, we have seen cases like this in which teachers are teaching English, but most of the time they're just using one method, which is and not being aware, probably not being aware, or not on the real purpose, on their purpose, they're not using other methods to involve the students in this target language. When teachers do the following, what happens is the various chances are students to learn the language. Because truth must be spoken. In our reality, most of students just have the classroom, the school to practice English. Most of them, they don't have this talking mate who they can talk, or these cousin or brothers at home. And, believe me or not, most of them don't even have the chance to watch some English movies, or even these activities outside. We need somehow to stimulate these activities in the schools. And what we need to do as well is to show the students that learning English is not only about teaching grammar, it's not only about these foreign stuff. We can also involve some cinemas and have our students having good time. We can entertain them while they're using the language.
Okay. Although with some breaks, but I could get some thing from what you were saying. Actually, I've said, although I was hearing with some breaks, but I could get the main information. So the other question for you is, in average of 100%, how many percent teacher can use for student target language, in this case Portuguese, in the classroom?
The target language, I'm sorry to disagree, but the target language is English, not Portuguese. So the target language is English.
English, actually,
So
is English, of course. I
you
said,
asking if what extent they can use the native language. Is that?
of course.
Well, knowing that we have a target language, and I believe some students, mainly those ones who are still in beginner level, they struggle with some simple sentence. What teacher can do is teaching them some, which I call those formula questions, structures, I'm sorry, those formula structures, like teachers, how do you say this in English? Teacher, what do you mean this particular word in Portuguese in English? So by doing this, we're reducing the native language time talking, and we're increasing the target language time talking. Teacher need to set those formulas in which students, when they have these Portuguese thoughts, they can implant, they can insert on these formulas. They can go on a teacher. How can I say, teacher? How do you say caderno? So by doing this, teacher is now building a new vocabulary background, which is in the third language. What is happening is, it's not bad speaking the native language, but they need to know when to do so. While they're in a classroom, the teachers and students must be committed. The teachers and students must be committed. I know that the students need to be inspired. The teachers must improve. So after that, the students will have to show the output. It doesn't happen in a day, obviously, it doesn't happen in a day, but throughout the time, through the practice, everyday practice, they can have it. They can speak English and they can overcome these hard-time situations. And additionally, this also would suggest some YouTube channels. For example, I normally suggest my students to watch those TED Talks and some YouTube channels in which they will acquire some knowledge, and after that, as homework, they will the activity. And going more on this the kind of rules and kind of talent, I normally in my class I said every week we have these. I'm referring now to 7th grade. So vocabularies, the students need to go through a self-study. Students need to go, students must need to be as a hunter. They need to go and self-start, and after that, in a week, they will come back to class and they will present. And the teacher must, at the beginning, the teacher must say that this is not only to show off. It's not only about showing off. Teacher, I have these. Because most of them, if they don't know the real purpose of doing this, they will have, first, they will be lazy in the sense that they will write down the words that they already know. Teacher, first of all, must talk to the students. Teacher must talk to them and say, this homework, this task, but in some way to help you. Because can you imagine you having every week 10 new words? Oh, we can also have, depending on the level, we can also have 10 new sentences. We can start with the basic sentence and then we'll move on to complex sentence. At the end, we can have, a full bright. And obviously, they will have these boosted confidence. they will boost their confidence in speaking English. So this is one of the tasks teacher could perform too, and we have many, many others. But most importantly, teacher must involve the student through the learning.
Okay, in Angolan context, okay, can you hear me? Okay, in Angolan context, where teachers like you've been working hardly to help students to use the target language and read it at home, don't you think the students' parents have to play the same roles at home? On the contrary, it can, to some extent, impair them from learning a language because they just have a 45 to 19 minutes of using such language, in this case English. What is, where do you include students' parents' roles on raising their motivation towards the target language?
Well, answering this question, I will set an example. This example or where I work for. We've been talking with the parents. It's a very important task to maintain this relationship between school and home. And the only way to get it succeed, or I mean successful, is having the teacher being connected with the parents. By doing this, we, as a teacher, we need to talk to the parents. Because as you said, and thank you for mentioning this, it's really important that the parents also be engaged on these activities. The parents, they also need to watch the kids while they're doing the activities, and parents also need to facilitate this environment. Because at home, we can create a nice parents. Again, most of us, let's say the majority of the citizenship, of the citizens, they have some member in each house, in every house, I mean, one member in every house has a cell phone, a smartphone. So, by having these, parents can sometimes give to the children towards some English content, some cartoons, some animation movies, and some movies as well. And they also can commit the students, the children in some reading. If they don't have this possibility,
We're having a break. We're having a break again.
are we back?
Actually, at the almost at the end of your speech, I had. I mean, I had a break on the screen.
Let me just sum up what I was saying. Thus, in nutshell, teacher as one figure and the parents on the other side need coexist. They need to work together. We can't think that we teach to convey the new language, to facilitate playing all the roles the teachers have. We need to cooperate with the parents, and they need to do it as well. They need to be in touch. Has one cell phone, so let's use it. Let's get in touch, and let's set some activity so parents can be around can assist the children on these activities. What we need to do,
Now,
and mainly nowadays, students are more tendency to listen to American British songs, and they can also take this as a piece of information.
okay. Now, do parents necessarily have to speak the target language in order to cooperate and help their children speak the language, apart from this kind of motivation which teachers have been giving to their children? Do parents have to nail the language or not necessary?
If they could, it could be better and easier. But though they don't speak English, they can also assess. They can also assist the children. I have, I was learning English as a student. My dad, until now, he doesn't speak English, but he was helping me, was buying me some books that he even he even doesn't know what was about. But as long as it was English,
We're having we're having many problems with our life. Yeah. Okay, you may resume.
yeah, okay, in nutshell, not necessary parents need speak English. If they do, it will be way easier, but if they don't, it's not like the end of the world. So they can still help by providing them some materials, by helping them, for example, if they have a cell phone, give them some data credit to download some English content and to facilitate all this learning process.
Okay. Actually, it isn't necessary for our parents speak a such language to help students, to help students speaking the same language, or having them dedicated on what they're learning at school. It isn't necessary. Motivating all matters a lot for their growing in terms of learning such language. It was I could understand about, according to your explanation. Now, lack of suitable accommodation may influence on students' learning in the classroom.
Can you come again, please? I couldn't get you pretty well. Can you come again?
Yes, I asked the following question. Lack of suitable accommodation may influence on student learning in the classroom.
Lack of, can you say,
lack of suitable accommodation may influence on student learning.
I believe, yes, it's a lack of both accommodation. It's hard. First of all, you know that we're not having those materials for have food, for example, healthy, it can somehow diminishing of the motivation, not even in learning English, but learning everything, I mean anything. But before we learn, that's why we have as a teaching stage, We have the warm up. If the student is not warmed up, if the student is not motivated, it can really not go on pretty well. You cannot get successful on this mission, which is to teach anything. So if you have this lackness, it can really not learn what they do learn. And most importantly, if we're talking here about English, students will feel motivated to learn the things. So we need to set this apparatus, we need to set all the conditions to flourish with this learning environment.
Currently, I've met two students of mine. I mean, not two, of course. There are 4 students of mine who told me that according to the previous experience they have regarding to learning English, currently they don't like this language. In order to make them like the language or spark their dead motivation toward this language, what can I tell them exactly? Or different method I'll be using in the classroom may raise this deaf motivation them?
You know, unfortunately, we have many, let me say, not professional, not pro teachers. Unfortunately, in our country, we have many people that proclaim themselves as teachers of English. But the truth is, they don't know how to do so. Most of them are not graduated, they haven't been in this
Specific
teaching
methods.
school to learn this method, and at the end, they kill this, let me say, this willingness from students to learn English. Most of them, for example, they fool their students with lots of grammar.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see that? While they're in the classroom, they set the lesson plan just based on the grammar. And it's all about grammar. One thing that I learned throughout these years of my experiences as a teacher of English is that we must have a topic. We can't just have a topic, setting the topic as a grammar. Grammar is never a topic. But I've been seeing many teachers that write down on the board topic, verb to be, those, this and that. And this is like those formulas that the student doesn't know how to put here into the real world, how to use it in the reality. So what we need to do is to do it differently. We need to ask, first of all, talk to students, ask them what they like, and see how we can, or at least how we can mix, how can we use it with language, the target language. For example, as I said it before about singing, we can learn English through singing. You can have students singing, and there you will select some piece of knowledge through these lyrics and teach them English. So they watch a movie. They may even have a popcorn. Can you imagine your classroom be certain with the students having popcorn and watching movies, but knowing that at the end they will have to do this interpretation because they need to know what they have learned. They will have fun. Teachers of English must be very creative. They can't go on the basics. It's really hard to teach someone speak a new language. It's really hard to teach someone speak a new language. But if we go in this as a machine, those being like autonomous, going on just the rules, like the verb to be, this rule, the personal pronouns go with this rule, all the rules all the time, will always be a boring class. It will always be a boring class because we can't take students, we can't think that students are machines and they will memorize all the rules at once.
Okay.
We need to put it maybe just a small piece of this rule because sometimes it's really necessary to have it, and we need to go to find a content. The other day I was talking about teaching phrasal verbs, and one of my sayings was that most of people teach phrasal verbs instead of they having in a story, and through the story they will select, extract these phrasal verbs. They teach it as in a boring list. They have it on like a row list, alphabetic list, like A, and they have these verbs, the phrasal verbs, and A until a Z, and not showing the students when and how they can use it in a real life. What we have in really difficulty is not being capable of showing the students when they're going to use this particular item. We're trying to arrange, like we're trying to fabricate moments, but we don't give them this freedom to encounter this moment. For example, we can have in the schools, we can have English club. Through English club, they will practice their English. We can teach the students to learn English through English club. We can set the levels. We can have this senior audition, and they will learn a new thing. We need to, to sum up, because I love speaking, and I know sometimes I don't look at the time and just let the flow go. But just to sum it up, we need to set goals and tell the students what they need to learn. You need to show your role and show the students' role as well. But please don't go all the time on the grammar. Show how they can have it in their real life. We can have, you remember back then when we were learning English through role plays. And it's hard to see teachers teaching English nowadays using role plays. We can have a role play. Students will have fun to learn new things.
Okay, yeah. I still remember that with the...
I had the best time of my life, in the role play. And I can't forget the words, not even the piece we presented. We need to have these memorable times. We need to create, we need to have this time with our students. This is what is missing. Many people are thinking that teaching English is only about, it's just about getting in a classroom and teach bunch of separate items. Like today they have this list of vocabulary, and tomorrow they have this grammar, and not being interchangeable, not being connected, intertwined. They need to be intertwined.
Okay, okay. Actually, there are many teachers nowadays that have been teaching like this, and me myself currently have been teaching English. Actually, grammar aspect through the text. First, students have to have a reading in the classroom. At least 4 students read the text. After reading the text, we are going to select some grammar aspect and teach them how those grammar aspects function. Then they take some sentences within the text where we can, when this specific aspect of a grammar is used. After this specific moment, they try to come up with with their writing. Okay, they write something about their life based on grammar aspect they had, and based on the grammar aspect they had and the text they've read too. That's what they've been doing, and it has been funny for students. And actually, it's sad when most of teachers now, have you already said, haven't attended a training course in English, and are there teaching English. Actually, they are making students' life difficult. But do you think it can change if they open their heart and try to look for expertise in this field of teaching to help them overcome their difficulties on teaching too?
Indeed, it's really they being aware of the problem. They need to acknowledge that they need, as you mentioned, expertise, help. By doing this, we can always reshape. We can always. So, teachers need to have these teaching trainings. And not only that, they also can go on because some of them may not be financially capable on paying for these courses, so they can have the self-study. There are a lot of books they can read. Yesterday I was reading Jeremy Arnold on how to teach English. I was reading Jeremy Arnold on how to teach English. And these books are available all around the internet.
Even on internet.
Even on
you can
internet,
find,
you can have it. And you can sometimes Google some techniques, how to better your English style, for example. You go and there will be a lot of tips on how to do so. The first thing they need to have is this willingness of changing. They need to say, I want to change. The right way to do so. Most of them believe that they're doing the right thing, even though that the results don't say the same. But they think, no, I'm doing a good thing. I'm the best teacher around my quarters or my neighborhood or my province or whatsoever. But what they need to do is always, we teachers can't be the same all the time. I have my principal to work I work for, which is Dr. Antonio Patavia. Once he said that we need to be better all the time. Every time. Imagine that you have taught last time 7th grade, and you have all these lesson plans maybe on your notebook, and an old notebook. So just forget about it. Don't go this year the same way you did last year. Change, make a change. Always we need to be eager to change. We need to be brave, and thirsty to look for information. Because we teachers are the providers. We need to come and bring up the best content for our students. And always challenge ourselves. We always on this process of learning. Everybody is, but we teachers have a hard task because we always all the time.
Oh, okay. Now we are coming up to our last question before we actually give goodbye to our followers
Hello.
and our lives too. We're having the post program problem again. Oh my God, it wasn't one of the best days. Should be setting this live. It's a lot of things being learned from teacher Silvana, but the internet is our main problem. Yeah, my God. Help again. Okay. Okay, as I
We're
was
back.
saying, it's not being one of the best days could be setting this live, but it what's happening. Actually, we have to accept that. My last question before giving goodbye to our followers is the following. Currently, there are a lot of students, I mean, a lot of schools concerned more about money. And they've been teaching in a small classroom with a many students. Actually, the school is full of students and lack conditions to welcome those students in the classroom. In this kind of situation, mainly in the public schools, we see a room actually that could support at least 25 students, supporting 45 to 40 students. In this specific case, is it possible to have a good teaching? Mainly English, where we have to we have to observe the way every student are acting, are performing in the homework, I mean, in the exercise being given to them. Is it possible?
Unfortunately, I need to say that it's not possible because to teach, we need, first of all, as you mentioned, we need to have conditions. We need to set the basic conditions. When we have these classes, these classrooms overcrowded, it makes our job more difficult. As you said, teaching English, we need to pay attention to every single detail. When we have classroom overcrowded, more than 20 students or like 25 students, and we have these 60 students in the same place, and we just have this one teacher, we'll have this particular teacher, we have a difficult time to convey the knowledge. And when the students will have questions, we will ask questions in a question time session, it will be unlikely to be answered, all of them, and unfortunately some students will leave the classroom not getting the main purpose or the goal of this class. The students will end up getting out of the class the same way they enter, which was empty-minded. They will be empty-minded. And when we have these classes overcrowded, we also need to acknowledge that the noise will also take place, and teacher will have a difficult time to manage the classroom, even the time management. Because imagine this teacher just have 45 minutes, and you have 60 students to go through.
It's really difficult.
how to manage your time and to manage the classroom behavior. We have this student that is crying for attention, and we have the other one that also needs to have his question answered. So what we need to do is not giving up, obviously it's not giving up on teaching, but what we need to do maybe is setting some different ways, different methods, taking students, I'm referring to this overcrowded classroom, maybe setting, having these outside class, they may have outside the room classes, some tasks, but most importantly, teachers need to keep talking with their superiors in the way they can have these situations overcome, which is the overcrowded classroom. Because the truth is, this is the reason, before I say I was talking about the truth is, but this is one of the reasons behind not learning the language. You know, it's funny, but most of people say that you don't learn English in a school, in this normal schools. Let me say this. You need to go to language training courses to learn this target language. So
coming up with these, coming up with this assertion on most of students don't. I mean, not most of students. All students don't. In our reality, students don't learn English at school. Don't you think foreign language policy influence on not learning any foreign language at school?
Well, first of all, we need to know that it's not only about being a foreign language policy. What happens is most of the time the syllabus. The syllabus, because we having these academic syllabus, which teachers most of the time follow 100%. What experts can do is sometimes to go far beyond that. Just take me as an example. I also follow the syllabus this year. I'm teaching 7th grade, and based on the reality of our students, because teachers must know teachers must know the conditions, must know the environment he's surrounded. Teacher must know the students. For example, we've been working with this, which is a plural adjectives books, and in the 7th grade, we just, the book is just learning the numbers from 1 to 20. And I know that is not enough. We teachers need to go far beyond it, because I know my students can't, if I just follow, stick on the book. If I stick on the book, it's 20, from 1 to 20, it won't be enough. So what I try, I adjust. Even though the policy, the foreign language policy is not the best, but we teachers need to mold into our reality. We need to have this ability. I need to change one or two things to convey the knowledge, to convey the target language, to teach. Because we are the ones, on the front line. We teachers are the ones on the front line. So we can't wait someone, a foreigner, someone coming in your classroom and tell you to do different. You can't do that. So you need to know your students and to make some adjustments. Even though the policy doesn't give you much freedom to adjust, but you need to come up with new ways. So by knowing, first of all, number one, you need to know your students, the target learners. The second goal, you need to adjust the content you get from these books. You've been asked to go through. You need to show yourself. Teacher has this, let's say, has this unique potential. Every teacher has this unique potential. We're not alike. As you mentioned, the teacher, Solomon, you have your ways. And through your ways, even though we went to the same academy, but you also, while you're teaching, you give yourself for this teaching. You give teacher Solomon, you give teacher Daniel his way. Even though if I imagine that I replace you, I won't teach the same way you do. I need to bring into this classroom my personality. I need to be capable enough to change based on the students' needs. Because the truth is, most of teachers are aware about the students' needs. The students have been overwhelmed with this content all of the time, but at the end of the day, they don't learn. So we have already faced a problem. We have a problem. This is a certain problem. We have the assignment. We have a problem. So how are we going to change? We need to find now ways to change. We need to go differently. The way we used to go is not getting us very far, so we need to make a different ways now. We need to come up with new ways. As I said, even though we have syllabus, we follow syllabus, but we can adjust. This is about adjustment.
Okay, okay. Teacher Silvino Gomez, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and I hope to count on you again for the coming lives. And actually, we have a lot of things to share with other teachers who are here, keeping a covenant to our life. Actually, we don't have much time to resume our life. And also, let me aware you that we had a problem with the internet, but we made it possible in order for you to have some knowledge regarding to the topic where we are here discussing in voice of teacher Silvino Gomez. So anything, my friends, you can comment on it. You can suggest also it's possible. And if you want him again, you can write down that want teacher Silvino going to be here with us and share the same topic or another topic. I bet it's going to be available for us and try to share the topic actually you're going to suggest with us. Me, myself, I've learned a lot with you, although with some breaking, but I learned something. And actually, the last word I can say that I want to count on you every single day. I want to get some new experience on this area we've been performing, which is teaching English. Now, if you have some words to leave us, you are now. The floor is yours to do so.
First of all, let me say thank you for your invitation.
You're welcome.
Those poetry, those great to the internet connection. But I really had a good time here. I also could learn a lot of things with you, Mr. Salomao. And I look forward to meeting you on the next live. And anytime you want me to join this lovable audience, I know there are many teachers that were following or are still following us. So we will be back anytime you want me. Please set the invitation, and I will be here. I'll make it possible to join you. At the end, the pleasure was all mine. I really love being with you today.
Okay. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself and your family as well. Bye bye.
Thank you, Mr. Bye, Sam. Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah.